everybody, Derek Soto here with Bloodlines, and we're on another fantastic episode of Bloodcast. Yes, of course, I am here.
Are you doing Gilbert Godfrey?
Yeah, I am doing Gilbert Godfrey. I'm kind of sad because Gilbert is gone, but you know, I kind of look like him. Seen him a few times. Really nice guy. May rest in peace. But we're actually not here with that today. We're actually here to talk with a couple other people that we know and we love.
A little often. Thank for effort.
I try, okay? I really try. I told you, it takes forever to get the fucking voice right.
You gotta get the phlegm.
Yeah, you gotta get a little phlegm.
Exactly. It starts here.
But we are here.
But anyway.
We are here with the Muckrakers today, and I just want you guys to introduce yourself. Sorry.
Yes, have the guys introduce the guys.
Introduce the guys.
Let's all introduce each other.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so this is Shannon. He plays bass.
This is Kyler. They play guitar.
That's John. He's the drum man.
Yeah,
I'm not your buddy, guy. I'm not your friend, buddy.
Welcome, guys. And it's been a while. I know we were trying to get you guys here for a while. The pandemic hit, unfortunately, and we had to really hold off on that. But it's really good to have you here finally, because I know you and Kyler, you and I were talking about just getting together for the Bloodcast. But just to start, I mean, you guys just opened up recently for Doyle. So that was April 7th at the Brooklyn Monarch. So how do you feel? I mean, how do you guys feel about opening up for such a big name? And what was the reaction when you found out you'd be sharing the stage with Doyle?
So yeah, this was the second time we played with them, and the first time we played was 2018. That was
Was it Blackthorn?
Yeah, it was a Blackthorn show.
51, man.
It was
Good old Blackthorn in Queens.
yeah.
Rest in peace.
Oh, that's right. You did perform at Blackthorn.
That was before the pandemic.
Another rest in peace. I feel we're not going to
Yeah.
So yeah, that was like a packed out show on a Sunday. It felt like a marathon. And then fast forward the next year, we were touring a lot, and we decided we got offered to play with them, and even DRI to play with them again. And we just decided to tour, so we didn't take them. But then we were looking for some shows to come back for, coming back to shows since the pandemic had hit. But then like the week or so later, we ended up finally hearing back about playing with Doyle, and I was like, all right, this is the way to come back to the scene.
Absolutely.
And it was an interesting day. It was a Thursday, still in the like awkward zone with the pandemic. What's gonna go well?
Right.
And it was raining, so
I remember. Yes.
Yeah.
That's right. I was there. I remember.
Yeah.
It was a pretty bad rainy day, but like rain or shine, you got to go out.
yeah.
But how did you guys feel about that?
I mean, I feel like every time we play with like a bands that like you actually know their music, you're kind of like, at least for me, I'm like, oh, this is awesome. Like I wouldn't expect myself to go here and do this with these people. And it's just, I don't know, it brings you almost back to where you started. At least if you're a musician, you're like, oh, like I grew up listening to this, now we're playing with him. It's just like this weird circular motion in the music art world.
Yeah, and playing with a big act like that, like it's always going to be a big show. There's always going to be a lot of people there, and it's cool to see somebody who's usually on a big stage with tons of production and stuff, to see how they work a smaller stage and what their setup is and their sound setup and everything,
It kind of brings them down to earth for you guys. It's like, wow,
And
Yeah.
also a lot of
Very
gym
surreal,
equipment too, from what I saw.
He always brings the gym
I lift
equipment.
things up and put them.
Always got his
things
gym
up and
equipment
put them
I'd give anything to
backstage.
hear Doyle say that.
Look at my biceps.
Yeah. And I mean, the first time I played with them, that was the weirdest year of all, because I saw Doyle 3 times. I saw him open on Guarween at Irving Plaza with Guar.
Right.
Kyler was there. Then we played with him, I believe. And then the next time I saw him, he was playing with the Misfits at the Prudential Center. So it was like the weirdest, like, up and down,
that's
like,
a complete
I was like,
clusterfuck right there.
Yeah, like big stage, small stage, really big stage. Like,
I'm pretty sure Harley Flanagan was on that show opening for them, or was that the Madison Square Garden show? I remember they were on one of the tours or something.
No,
like
I don't think Harley was at the MSG show.
Yeah, it might be the one that he went to. It was. We ended up playing with them later.
I went to the Prudential one, so it was like Suicidal Tendencies, Doyle, and the Misfits. It was like Suicidal Tendencies, Misfits, There might have been another band, but I missed it. So I don't remember.
ST's always fun live.
Oh my god. Yeah, it's going so hard.
That's Mike Muir from freaking Suicide. Yeah, that's what he does on stage. He does this stupid shit all the time.
Okay.
All I wanted was a Pepsi.
Excuse me, I have rhythm.
Other big
How dare you?
Have you guys ever performed with other big names like that?
Yeah.
Like opening up?
We played with CKY. We were offered to play with All That Remains. We played with CJ Ramone, other people from the Misfits, like the Undead, honestly, Michael Graves.
Yeah, at this point, we play with so many members of the Misfits, we might as well play with the Misfits.
Okay.
Every member from every.
I think you did enough legwork. Take us on tour.
And we played with AC's band. He plays guitar for the Misfits.
Yeah.
Man. The only person
that touring guitars.
The only person that you need to play with now is Glenn, but then you'll never come back. So I mean, you'll be sued.
Yeah, for using the fonts for their band.
For real.
I was actually like thinking about it. I was like, should we like kind of hide like our merch a little bit at the show?
I'm not getting into that, but
about that.
And there's other bands we've opened up for, but ultimately, I'm kind of looking forward to the future because that's going to be more impressive than what we could tell you. I mean, we did also play with Cancer Slug twice in like 2014, 15, and Alex is the singer of Doyle. That's his band.
Right.
Yeah.
So
well, we'll definitely get more into that too, because I definitely want to know what you guys are going to be up to. For sure. But
that's later on. Stop cutting up the damn.
I'll let you know right now.
Got a whole schedule over here. Right?
Actually, that's probably the last question, so we could do it now, and then we can all leave and go to the bar.
We have an itinerary, Derek. Thank you.
Always. Professional. But okay.
But I do want to start with, I guess, like the Muckrakers origins, you know. So what are the origins of the Muckrakers? When did each of you realize you wanted to learn how to play music? How did you learn?
Do you want to go first?
Oh, God, I don't even know. Like, I don't know how to sum this one up, but I started playing music with, like, one of my, like, childhood friends that lived around the block from me, and we'd just play in his basement or his garage. And he like would play the drums, and he tried to teach me how to play guitar. I was terrible. I kind of learned from there through like doing stuff like that with that specific friend, and then like it kind of just branched out from there. Like I realized that I liked listening to music as much as I liked playing it, and it was just like this weird thing that really sparked a lot for me. So yeah, I think that's the easiest way to sum that up. Before we get to the actual band.
How about you, Kyler?
Look how the band leader just starts with the basis. It's like, yeah, we're gonna throw you in we're gonna throw you to the wolves first. All right, now that you landed on your feet, it's my turn.
No, I learned from my last interview that I could answer every single question you have in one sitting, like one sentence. Well, not one sentence, but like one really long sentence. I'll answer every question you
Galaxy Brain Kyler.
So I'm just trying. I'm trying not to say too much too soon. Anyway,
you can go away.
How I got into music was. Originally, I didn't really listen to music, actually, almost at all. I was considered mute to a degree. And when I was dating one...
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I didn't even know that. You're mute?
No, not...
Yeah, you don't shut up now.
You don't shut up.
Mute in the sense that I don't listen to music. Like the weird, like, how do you not like anything kind of person. But anyway...
That's not mute, but okay.
Mute interests. Anyway, so basically... Eventually, I dated someone in around 2008. I wanted to maybe pursue it, but then I just immediately remember Led Zeppelin solos and being like, I don't understand how they remember that. And then I just didn't for a couple more years. And then eventually, I remember being like, getting into NoFX and some other bands leading up to that. And I was like, this seems easy, even though comparatively, they're like contemporary, like punk bands. They're a lot easier than NoFX. They're a little bit more diverse musically. But basically, I just kind of listened to every single song that they had a lot, obsessed for a while. And I was like, do I want to play guitar or do I want to play bass? And then I just got both. And then eventually I just got too many instruments, like drums and piano and so on and so forth. And yeah, basically I just wanted to do it regardless of how I was doing it. And obviously there's a story about how we met, but even after like we weren't like talking for a period of time, like I was always throwing myself into different bands to kind of figure out where I could fit in if this never happened, you know? So that's kind of like the short end of it. I just wanted to do it, even went to college for it, and I dropped out of a couple different programs.
Yeah. How about you?
So my growing up, my sister played piano, and I was always really into that. Anytime she played piano, I always liked listening, but never really wanted to play anything until 3rd grade was when like the music school came to my school essentially, or at least that was when like they would let you pick an instrument and do the music program. So they had the instructors like play something really short for all the kids and just to like give a demonstration of each instrument. And I forget what he played, but for whatever reason, I was like super into the clarinet. I was like, I'm gonna play the clarinet. That's definitely what I want to do.
Clarinet and the Muckrakers. Okay.
Take that triangle.
Well,
I know, right?
I eventually played the triangle because I did clarinet for 2 years, and I didn't really like it a whole lot. But then I swapped over to the drums, and I never looked back.
And then Kyler gave you the drum kit, and then said you never.
No. I gave him my drum like stand bag and maybe some of my gear, but otherwise.
Yeah.
That's actually part of my story, is that when I was learning how to play, I got other people who didn't know how to play instruments and just gave them my other things I wasn't using. And I was like, let's just be bad together to learn.
So basically, you two gentlemen were manipulated into this group. I understand that.
100%.
Well, that's the part of this story now.
That's the funny part. It was actually Kyler was manipulated to be in this group.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Kyler didn't even know how to play guitar when we first started playing music.
Surprise.
I was learning. I was like 5 months in.
I was like, okay, we're gonna do this, and I'm like, and I'm like, okay, watch. So Kyler would be staring at me, and I'd be playing, but Kyler's literally like a half a beat behind, like, and it just sounded like this weird echoing thing. It was weird, but we got through.
Does it sound proper?
The story of how we met, though, because that was the other half of the question, is that basically I was dating someone, and we were at the mall one day to go meet a mutual friend of his, and he was there, and we kind of just didn't look at each other too much. We didn't really say anything. But then we were invited to a birthday party, and then we just talked all day.
I don't even remember that at all.
It was it's our friend Joey's birthday party, basically.
So we're talking like you guys have been the Muckrakers for about 8 years. Is that right?
11.
11
It's
years.
like
okay.
11. I was like, it was oh god,
Yep.
2022.
Yeah.
That's awesome because and that's really amazing because I've seen your social media following. You guys have a lot of interaction there, which is really awesome, and you really built a lot on that. So, getting back to our questions, Derek. Let's talk the music video because actually Derek's a music video director. So
Yeah.
Okay, yes. So speaking of music videos and all that good jazz, visual stuff that we like to speak about here. You guys just released one, Nexus, of course.
Actually, we shot and released 4 different music videos.
I was trying to get there.
Hey, this is what I'm saying. This is the interview.
It's my interview.
I watched the video.
Oh, you did the homework? Is that what you're taking credit for?
It's a long video.
So 4 music videos then.
Yes, they did 4. That was during 2018, 2019, right? Or
No, we shot them during 2020.
Yeah, 2020.
Oh, wow.
I was trying to give you the
wearing
pandemic reason, but obviously you just threw yourself and said, fuck it, we did it.
No, we did it. So, actually, the day that we were going to do it was the day everything shut down.
Literally, yes.
Yeah,
literally.
everyone jumped off, obviously, and then we waited until the summer.
Delete. It's like, we're not going to be able to film today because it's raining outside.
Delete. But sorry. So what singles did you guys do the music videos for?
Basically, every song besides the intro.
Yeah, that was it.
There was Dance Song, Quarter Life Crisis, Without You, and Nexus, and we shot all of the performances in one day, and then we shot
the stories on another.
Yeah, it was like a half day.
Like 2 days.
Oh, but that's not bad. See, that's organization, kids. You can learn something.
Yeah,
That's how you do it.
It's funny.
Right.
Like we shot a black and white music video for Without You. Then we took the black and white, changed, put a giant green screen for Quarter Life Crisis. Yeah. Then we moved to another room, which we actually did the upstairs and downstairs for Halloween Princess and Parasite's music video from before that release. Damn. And we just dressed it up with like caution tape and lighting that made it look like there was an accident. And then we shot Nexus there, and then we had just enough time before the sunset was completely down, and we went by the pool and did Dance Song.
So wait, so all 4 videos were done in the same location?
Same location.
Okay,
yeah, we just moved from one room to the other room to the outside.
Yeah. Well, all right. Well, it's a big house. It's a studio, and it's
so the location was an actual.
So.
The location was an actual studio,
that's where we recorded.
Multi-room studio.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That Roach Motel sounds so enticing until they mentioned the studio.
Well, I saw Nexus, and I saw like the construction tape there, so that was different.
We shot in a hotel though before for Doomed.
No roaches though, just hotel.
Yeah.
It's all right though. I'll give you A for
the
effort.
roaches would make the music video though.
That's it.
That does make. That normally does. That's a little crunch.
Be careful, like Union. But anyway, so you guys are going back to Virginia this summer. Hopefully pandemic free, and you're going to play a show with the Queers over at the Pizza Den. Is that right? That's the name of the place?
Correct.
Yeah.
Sweet.
We
So
normally,
So
I really hope we get pizza there.
I hope so.
What inspired you guys to play on this gig?
We were asked.
You were asked.
And we. So actually, I have a lot of articles from like alternative press from like my childhood all over my walls in my bedroom. Even when I moved, I put everything back on the wall and kept some stuff, got rid of some. And I have this one article about the Queers. So my brain, they've always just been in my life, even if I didn't really listen to their music yet. And when I heard about it, I was like, they came up with like NoFX, Green Day, and like the Gilmore Street, whatever it is, from the California scene. And I was like, this seems like a good deal. And basically, we were kind of unsure if we wanted to like make a tour because it's on Tuesday, but we decided that a lot of things are getting canceled. So we were just like, we got convinced into it, and they were like, yeah, that sounds like a good show.
Well, they've been around for at least 40 years or something like that, since like 82, so that's a perfect opportunity for you to just jump right in.
Yeah, 100%. And we also have a pretty decent following in Virginia.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
For whatever reason, of all places, Roanoke, Virginia.
And this is right outside of like that area. Like when we were playing a lot, 2018 to 19, we were playing the Golden Pony a couple different times. We played the Front Row a lot. We were like,
Front Row's at home
headlining
base.
a festival out there, and we were gonna play Blacksburg, Virginia, in October 2019. And then our van actually had a problem, so we missed a Jersey show and a Virginia show. But
a good old Van Omen.
I know, yeah, seriously.
Well, it's the first time that happened. But basically, every time we play, we draw. Even when we were on our last time at the Front Row, the show, every band dropped off of that bill, and we still had like 20-something people that came just for us.
That's
So
still a good number.
yeah, I mean,
And considering the circumstances.
Yeah. And the weirdest part about that area is that every single time we play there, they think we're a local. They're like, oh yeah, you guys seem to play here a lot. I'm like, you're from around here? I'm like, no, we're from 8 hours away.
9.
It's really appreciated here.
Nice people.
They want to kidnap you and make you citizens of Virginia. That's what it is.
I think so.
Yeah, I'm feeling that. I get that vibe.
We actually had a new big thing that actually got booked. Actually, only a real new big thing from a week ago, actually.
Okay.
We're playing back in Ohio for the second time as support for the Bunny and the Bear.
Yep, you just announced that yesterday.
Well, I put up the official flyer. I put up my own little personal one earlier.
the official Kyler's social media.
Oh, it hasn't been announced yet, though.
We announced it yesterday,
Yeah.
but like on personal stuff, I'll say things a little bit
like
earlier.
finger happy with the mouse. I was like, I gotta talk.
Yesterday, as in April 28th, because you probably won't see this till probably July. I don't know. No, it's gonna be done soon. I'm kidding.
But, yeah, no, that that one's on a Saturday, so that was a little bit more manageable in general.
Yeah.
And they wanted to have us out, so they're supporting.
But that's good. You're getting gigs outside of the state, and not only that, but you're also building a higher reputation for yourself. For yourselves out there.
And to be asked, to support, to support a main act. That's
Yeah,
this
is new actually. Going into this year, just playing with national acts in different states. That's a new thing for us. We've toured all like self-made tours, like all over the country. Before the pandemic had hit. So 2019 we had like 100 shows. That's including ones that we ran for.
I have no idea how any of us were alive from that.
Wow.
And honestly, I remember us being like right before the quarantine and everything happened, we're like, let's take a break. Yeah. Let's just take a break.
Forced a break.
And then it was just a break for way too long.
But speaking about shows, though, I mean, I want to actually get into Munostock.
Yeah.
So you guys, from my research, I mean, I've been following you guys for a while, but this has been an event that the Muckrakers have been spearheading for quite some time. So when did this festival come to life?
10 years ago.
Yeah, like 10 years ago. It started out at my house. My parents' house, and it started out on their lawn as like a barbecue, and okay, everybody plays some music. So it ended up just becoming one of these like summer things that like all of my friends and my brother's friends would come to and just start showing up at. Like people you wouldn't see all year, they'll come to this thing. And then at some point we started putting on like other bands, and then it just started drawing people from like the neighborhood and like
other states too.
Other states. It just like spiraled out and has become this overblown like barbecue music event. It's so weird.
But that's so cool.
It was
awesome.
5 years at his house. We brought it to the Broadway Mall, and then we brought it to Station Sports, which
this is probably our last year.
Yeah. We're going to be bringing it back there. We didn't announce that, but I kind of walked into doing that.
Guys make it sound like you burned down the place.
Well, they got a for sale sign on their mini golf place.
They burned down the place. That's why they're not going back.
But
solid, we don't want them here anymore.
No, we did some research, but we were very lucky that we are getting our last year, and that would be possible.
Yeah, that specific location, although it is a little bit further out on Long Island, it has a lot of built-in things that you can't beat. Like it has built-in electricity literally everywhere, and then there's only one entrance, and it's a gate.
Is this the new location or
the old location? This is going to be the third time we're doing it in Huntington, and everything's just built in. It just works because then we don't have to spend money on generators and fencing and all that logistical.
While
stuff.
people are kind of maybe someone doesn't want to listen to a certain band. We're going to be there for all day, and every band's a different genre. When we have the show, so there's a lot of other entertainment to be there. So basically, we'll have our arcade machine. We'll have live painting. We'll have a mini golf course there.
You have an arcade machine. Yeah, you have arcade machines there.
We'll get into that later.
Okay.
But
my brother built it.
So if anyone were to want to get on this bill for Munostock, how would they go about that?
Well, I book it, and basically, you just let me know that you're interested, and I have to use my discretion to figure out what makes sense, because I made a post about it, and this happens every year. I made a post about it just being if you're interested, let me know, and I got hit by 200 people. So you just kind of you can't do that because it'll be a month of music. One thing that I can say is that we do run shows throughout the year, and we don't do the open mic situation quite as much as we do, but we still sometimes bring out other bands from out of states, and we do run shows. So if you work with us, we get to see what you're all about. It's a lot easier to want to put someone on your big event of the year if you know what they're capable of, what they sound like, what they are to work with as
that's really organized, and that's actually really good that you do that.
We do have an email that bands can reach out to.
There is an email.
I don't know what it is.
It's either we got munostock@gmail.com or munostockbooking@gmail.com.
That one.
We'll send you both.
The booking is Kyler. Kyler's the talent buyer for this thing.
We'll put both emails in there, and you can play. May the odds be ever in your favor.
That's cool because you guys are you're actually show bookers, so that's another thing that falls into like the whole the Muckrakers tree.
Yeah, this is a massive umbrella right here that just.
That's not even it yet.
Oh, okay. Well, please, let's continue with the questions.
Would you like to know the newest thing that I don't think was actually something you might have known too much about?
Well,
is this for the
It's about Munostock.
Okay,
What about it?
Let's talk about it.
Okay, we're changing.
I want to know what.
We're changing the name to John Stock. That's what it is.
What happened?
I mean, it's always been that.
Kyler Stock.
No, I don't like that. That sounds like a problem.
Tyler Stock.
So obviously there's the band, there's the festival, there's the booking company, but recently we started the party rental side of the company.
Well, my brother's the one who's really spearheading the party rental thing because my brother is like, he's all over Long Island, all over the place, making friends with people and just being like, I got the stuff. You can rent it from me if you want. I got lights. I got an arcade. I built myself, and it's just it's nuts.
Yeah.
So we're like all over the place, like running events in like Far Rockaway, then like almost out in Montauk. Like it's fun. It's like stuff is like far.
So basically, between our events, we've always had like these little things that fluff up our events' interest, like with the video games, whatever. But now other events have been like renting out like our arcade machine or like like we were just at a pop-up vegan event, and we had some tents, we had the arcade machine for some retro, some modern gaming, air hockey table, and giant Jenga, and we are planning on creating new products for people to like hang out with and play with. And one of the cooler things about the job that I just recently got at this tech company is that they're very open to us like taking their parts to like build cool things with. So like they'll just be like, if you want, just like let us know and we'll blog about it and stuff like that.
So you guys are really building on this. I mean, you're inviting vendors now.
Yeah.
So that's like that kind of thing.
And we
it's
have
almost like a business. So.
Oh yeah.
That's the
it's
point.
Actually
you could be the next Mayhem Festival. Who knows? You never know.
I mean,
that could be it.
It's a new revenue
that was
source.
kind of the idea when like I first was like, yeah, we got this show in my backyard. I was like, it could be the next Warped Tour.
Well, actually, a funny thing about that statement is that last time we had it, people were coming from the, I think it was Atlantic City Warped Tour, and they were doing select dates, and they were like, I like this more than Warped Tour. But I think the thing with that statement comes from community.
That's what it is. Yeah. That's how you build on it. It's the community that likes it. But when you start bringing in more people, obviously
it's going to be harder for people to know everybody. It's going to be impossible.
And then it's not impossible. It just takes time.
The word gets around too.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, hey, hit up Munostock@gmail.com, or I guess that's what the email was.
Yeah.
That word gets around, and you know.
No, and I mean, and you know, get into social media, you know, to keep that traction and all that stuff. How do you keep everybody engaged with social media? How is it, you know, how do you decide what kind of content you could put out there? You know,
just content.
Everything.
Honestly,
everything
It doesn't matter.
out.
It doesn't matter what it is.
I literally,
just do something.
We'll literally just put it out.
I will post about every single thing about my life, and it keeps everyone engaged. Even if it drives me crazy when I overthink things, like some days. Like recently, I got a new job. Had nearly 500 people react to that. And then there's other days, like yesterday, where I put up that new flyer, and then anything I post, just the algorithm is just like, you suck today, all right? So
You're a
sometimes
very likable person online. Like definitely. Like you're just very open, and you're just like, hey, I'm here, and I'm just gonna talk about it, and everyone's like, I feel that. It's happening to me too. So I think that you have like that. I guess that relationship with people on social media, where you know you're not afraid to talk about your day. And what's happening, because people are just so like they're not so transparent online anymore. Everything's like, oh, everything's so great. So,